Okay, so this is a random tiny rant, but I noticed from Reddit and certain YouTubers that they say you should make a game in a genre that sells well rather than what you actually want to make. And honestly, I couldn't disagree more. And honestly, this is why I think that. First off, let me say, if the game you want to make is in a genre that sells well, hey, cool, keep working on it, dude. But for the rest of us who like making games that aren't gonna be as popular, like for me, it's gonna be immersive sims. And I tend to hear that they're not as popular. Stuff like Mankind Divided, like I don't really hear many people talking about those games, which are fucking awesome. Check out that game, seriously. I say stick with what you want to make, because that passion will shine through. Whereas, if you half-heartedly make something you don't like, people are gonna notice that. The end product is gonna suffer. Like, tell me this. Why are you an independent game developer and, not part of a game studio? Cause I'll tell you why I will never work for a studio. For me, it's about control of my creativity. It's about doing things in the way that I want them to be and being able to plan out things in the way that work best for my ADHD rather than how they'd work for someone else. Some people like making rigid plans for their work, and that's fine, but I don't. I've tried and it's not really how my brain works. I like the ability to improvise and change things on a whim if it feels like it works well for my game and for my animations. Granted, I also don't like to follow strict deadlines as it makes me want to rush and make my work worse. The way I do things would not work well for a studio pretty much. And I'm sure some people will say, oh, you're making games wrong. Oh, you're making animations wrong. You need to be rigid and you have to do things exactly like this. And it's like, that's fine for you, dude. But for me, this is the way that's honestly worked the best for me. This is why I'm indie. Because I get to do things in the way I decide. In the way that works best for my brain. So you gotta ask yourself the same thing about why you're even independent in the first place. Because if you're in it for the money and you want actual stability and to work for someone, that's not a bad thing, but I'd say just work for a studio, I say. Obviously, maybe research the studio you're gonna work for, because I hear crunch time can be a pretty awful thing in some studios, especially when they have like some tight deadlines, so research, motherfucker. But anyways, what makes being an indie dev fucking great is you can create whatever the fuck you want, when you want to, and in the